Well, at an old people's home, and they were, someone came into the home and sort of all the stuff from the house was put into a fair, and I bought it out of the fair for about 20 pence.
Right. Biscuits, when they first came on the market, were often sold in elaborate tins and packaging, I think really to promote the biscuits. And by the 1920s, 1930s, you could buy trains, planes, you name it, a biscuit tin was made in that form. Now this of course has meant that people have lost interest in the biscuits, but of course they collect the tins.
Yes.
Now here we have one called the Meteor, a racing car of the 1930s. It's very loosely based on a car that was driven by Sir Henry Seagrave, but only up to a point. And it's a very stylish, streamlined image in wonderful sort of flowing colours, and as you go along, I like the way the wheels have this sort of dynamic pattern to them. Inside would be the biscuits. What have we got? Oh, no biscuits, but we've got some woodbines.
We have.
So you can have a smoke if you can't have a biscuit. And of course, many of these then were thrown away when they were empty. They were simply a novelty item. As a result, they're quite rare. Collectors are very keen to buy them. They've been documented. There was even an exhibition in the V&A in London years ago on biscuit tins. The remarkable thing about this one is that it is effectively brand new. There's very little marking on it. The only thing missing is there would have been a headlight there. With a switch here, and so you could actually push it along in the dark with the headlight glowing, which would have been more exciting. But otherwise, it's pretty immaculate. Now, great car, great 1930s styling, 20p.
Yes, 20p.
So I think it's worth quite a bit more than that now. I think you did very well. How about £200? Do you think that sounds good?
Well, I have been told it was worth a bit more than that.
Have you?
Yes.
What were you told?
Well, about 1,000.
No.
No.
I think that's a bit... I would say that was too much. I would say in the condition it's in, with the light and everything like that missing, 200 or 300 would be about right.
It belonged to my uncle, who was an antique dealer in Bristol, and he died in 1980. And it was his wish that I chose one of his paintings, and this is the one that I chose.
Well, quite right too. I think you made a good choice. Now, the picture is signed, and it's signed with a monogram down here and a date, 1878. I think I know who that monogram is, but what's your...
I believe it's Albert Ludovici.
Yes, yes.
And there's a junior and a senior.
Absolutely right.
But I don't know which one it is.
I would agree. I think this is by one of the Albert Ludovicis. Now, they were both Italian, as the name might suggest, but they both, in fact, came to live in London and also lived in Paris. And I've puzzled over this, but I really find it difficult to know which Ludovici this is. It might be by the father, it might be by the son. The date is possible for either of them.
And they're similar styles, are they?
Yes, they do paint in similar styles. I incline towards the opinion that it's by Ludovici Jr. And it's typical of both the Ludovici style. It's slightly sort of sketchy and impressionist, but he does paint these charming pictures of children with little rather round, smiling, rosy faces. That's typical of Ludovici. And is he a musician? What do you think this is here?
Yes, I believe he's a musician, and this is his organ here. So this
I
is the
see.
organ
So he's an organ
monkey.
grinder with his monkey. Yes, well, this is it. And in villages, of course, in those days, this is in the late 19th century, not much happened, and therefore the arrival of an entertainer like this was a big village event, and everybody turned out. So here they are all following him, and he's heading for the pub by the look of it.
Yes.
Yes. Well,
the frame is original. It was
yes,
as
that's a nice period frame. It's in good condition, and therefore in a sale now, I would reckon this painting would make at least £5,000 or £6,000.
Right.
It might make more because it's such a nice subject, and I'd certainly suggest insuring it for, say, £7,500.
Okay.
So a very charming picture, and
thank you very much.
delighted to have it.